Now on to the Chippewa Valley Big Reds. After a couple of down seasons, they dropped down to the MAC White. Head coach Jackie Maurer understands the move and knows it may be a good thing for the team moving forward. They have a collection of girls returning from last season, and they hope those experiences will help them this year.
I think we started this year off with just higher expectations. I think after coming off the year that we had last year, we struggled. It was a struggle every day. I mean, we averaged maybe barely 28 points a game. So I think that's a focus this year, is just making sure we're finishing and getting those scoring opportunities, and then stressing defense. I think last year defensively we weren't as strong as we could have been. And so we've started with, defense is important, just as important as putting points on the board. But our defense is going to create offense. So if we're working on the defensive end, then we'll be able to put points up on the board. You always want to play against the best competition, but you also want to play against competition where you fit. So I think moving down to the White, it's better for, the clientele that we've had in the last few years. We did really well the 1 year and graduated some players. We just haven't been able to rebuild and recuperate from that quite yet. So I think it'll be, a challenge for us to come down, and we played the tougher competition the last several years. So this year, I think the White's very tough, and I think there's still going to be some challenges there and some challenging teams, but I think we'll be able to be more competitive compared to last year than we were.
Honestly, I have a lot more positive thoughts than I did last year. I think just from the look of it now, the hustle, the girls are a lot more motivated to practice, and I see some success in our future.
Grace Cook, she's back. She's been with me since she was a sophomore. We moved her up towards the end of the year as a sophomore, and she's going to have big minutes. We're working on her scoring and her finishing, and so we expect some big things out of her. I have Dominique Williams back, another player that's been with me since she's been a sophomore, so we're expect her to maybe be more consistent on the offensive end. She's always there for us defensively, but we want her to contribute a little bit more. Vicky Dickow's back, so I have her. She looks strong this year. She played over the summer, AAU and travel, and she played a lot. So she prepared to come back and have a good junior year. She's only a junior, so I'm glad I'll get her this year and next year. So hopefully she can contribute more. I know she wants to have a strong junior year, so I think those are some key players we have returning.
I think for one, we have a lot more girls than last year, and even though we did have a bad record, our district final, we were in the game for most of the game. So I think that especially this year we can go pretty far.
It's a new year, we have new expectations. Let's set the bar high now. Let's have high expectations now so that we can work through some of those struggles. Every team has struggles. Every team needs to work through those, and until you start really getting into games and getting into the season, we might not know exactly what those are and might not have identified them. But I think at the same time, we're more focused this year. I would say that we're better right now than we were at the end of the season last year. So I think we're just starting off on a good note. And so if we can just keep it going and keep it moving, we'll be able to finish strong this season.
Here is the schedule for Chippewa Valley. Home games in white and road games in yellow. 2 road games to start beginning on December 4th against St. Clair. Rival Dakota for the home opener on December 12th, followed by 2 more road games to close out 2014. Richmond starts 2015 on January 6th. Then league play begins on the 9th against Eisenhower, followed by Stevenson and then Utica. More home games towards the back half of the year, including 3 in a row in early February against Stevenson, Centerline, and Utica. Sterling Heights at home on February 20th, and then 2 road games to close out the year, finishing with Anchor Bay on February 26th.